That you are leaving, you're putting us in good position. Yeah. Thanks, man. Ooh, it's 12:31. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right. It turned off. This one turned off. The main one turned off. So I'm turning it back on.
I almost wore my white tennis shoes today. But my wife gives me hell every time I do it. She says, "You look like a goofball." So if she was here, she'd probably say, "Well, you might be because you're younger. You don't look like a goofball." But if I did,
they can hear us on Zoom. I am a goofball. Good to see you guys. Yeah. All right. Welcome, Rotarians. How is everybody doing today? Jennifer is doing good. Mike is doing good. I think that's everybody that's doing good. How's everybody doing today? That's awesome. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Harrison Turner, and I serve as president of the Rotary Club of Raleigh this year. And today is our April 20th meeting. We are very excited to have Sarah Crawford with Tammy Lynn Center here today to speak to us, and looking forward to connecting with our guests. If you're here for the first time or maybe a repeat visitor, thank you so much for being here. And to all of our Rotarians, I am so thankful to serve alongside each and every one of you. To live a life of service above self is a lifelong pursuit. So truly appreciate each and every one of you being here today. So let's jump into our meeting. Before we get over into our invocation and pledge, please make sure, if you have not done so, please, if you parked in the parking garage behind us, please scan the QR code, register your car so you don't get a nice little bill in the mail. With that, we're going to turn it over to John Cates for our invocation and pledge.
Thank you, President Harrison. If we could stand for the invocation, please. As we gather today, let us take a moment to reflect on purpose that brings us together, service to others, and commitment to our community. We recognize and appreciate the work of the Tammy Lynn Center, whose dedication to supporting individuals with special needs and their families reminds us of the importance of compassion, inclusion, and dignity for all. May we listen with open minds, learn with open hearts, and be inspired to strengthen our own efforts in service. Let this time together renew our shared commitment to making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. And as we share this meal and fellowship, may we carry forward the spirit of service above self in all we do. Amen. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance. Flag, United States, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Spacious skies for amber waves of, for purple mountains majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and round our good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. R-O-T-A-R-Y. That's no.
All right. Thank you so much for that, John. Truly appreciate that. And I'm serious. We are getting much, much better. I mean, we're going to do a caroling at some point in the future. Do some Christmas caroling. Now, my favorite part of our meeting is, that's actually better. Thank you. Yeah, my favorite part of our meeting is getting to know our guests. Before I forget, I just want to say hello to everybody on Zoom. Thank you so much for attending today. But yes, this is an opportunity for us to come around, and to get to know you as a guest. So what I'm going to do is come around. Actually, I'm going to have Jennifer come around. She was about to sit down. Jennifer's going to come and pass you the mic. We'd love just to hear your name, what you do, and what brings you to Rotary.
All right. When I come to you, if you can stand. Gabriella, we'll start with you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me back. My name is Gabriella. I'm a real estate agent here. I live in the downtown area, but I service the entire Triangle area. Like I mentioned last meeting, I used to be part of Interact Club back in high school. So looking back to getting connected to my roots and being a part of the community and giving back. So thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. Maybe some of y'all will recognize this beautiful lady. You can stand up and tell us who you are and what you do.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here. So I am back and still in sales. I'm not doing advertising anymore, so I'm in manufacturing, but I will reach out and hopefully grab coffee with you all. So I did bring a guest today. This is Brandon. He's with Bidding Electric.
Hi, Brandon Benning with Benning Electric. Glad to be here and learn a little bit more about this program and get involved. Thank you.
All right, is there a way over here? As you took a bite, sorry. We have other guests. Okay, you can go ahead and stand up.
Made a mouthful of food. Hi, I'm Angie. This is my second visit here. I dabble in social media marketing is my main kind of career path. I'm just happy to be here. I am joining the Rotary, so that's exciting. Thanks for having me.
Coming. And we're gonna hear from you.
Hi, I'm Brittany Constance. I am the Director of Strategic Impact and Outreach with the Tammy Lynn Center. Thrilled to be here. Thanks for having us and letting us share more about the organization.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you to all of our guests for being here today. It's encouraging to see that there are people out there that are eager to find organizations that they can get a part of that one, connect them to their community, but not also connect you to the community, but also engage you to go deeper into adding value to your community. So I hope that you guys find that today with the service projects that we're doing. I hope you find it to be things that you are interested in getting involved with. And we would love for you to find Rotary Club of Raleigh as your home. Now, you can tell people about Rotary all the time. A lot of people might ask, oh, tell me about Rotary, or tell me about the Rotary Club of Raleigh. In the wonderful world we live in today, people can find out about our club in a lot of different ways. Word of mouth, hearing from you as things that we're doing on social media. But a lot of people, surprisingly, in the world that we live in, are finding us just by Google searching Rotary Raleigh, right? So there's a great opportunity for us as a club. This is something we highlighted last week. I'd love for you, if you haven't done so far, to please think about doing it, is to give a review on Google about the Rotary Club of Raleigh. Up before Paul brought it up to the board a couple of weeks ago, we only had 2 reviews. So hopefully we can get a little bit more traction on there. So when people go on to the Rotary Club of Raleigh or search us, they can see some great reviews about the great things we're doing in our community. So just a nice little reminder. If you haven't done so, or if you'd like to, please review us on Google. All right, and we had Tommy Kelleher. He was at the district conference this past weekend. And I think he just put some food in his mouth, so that's perfect timing. Tommy, why don't you come up and give us a little bit of a debrief?
Certainly. Thank you. Good to see everybody here today. Y'all doing okay? I went to Rotary's district conference this weekend, and I know how exciting that sounds. But I'm telling you, I've been to other district conferences, and typically when I go, my main hobby is looking at my watch to see if we're done yet. And that was not how this one went. It was a great conference. They had great speakers. It was impactful. It was really powerful. One of our speakers is up here dressed as Wonder Woman, and she was actually talking about child sex trafficking was the topic that she had. So we covered some deep stuff. We covered some really hard stuff, and we talked about what Rotary is supposed to look like for clubs, how you could gauge what your participation is going to be in the coming year, how you could utilize the people that are in your club to do good things that are out there, and most of all, how could your club be something bigger than the 4 walls that you meet in and the lunch that you attend? We all love eating here together. This is the heart of the thing. We love being together. But Rotary really comes alive when you leave here and you do something with it. When you go international, when you are involved at the district, when you're involved at the zone, when you see where the dollars that we use actually get put to work, that's when it starts feeling real. Otherwise, you're just somebody that kind of writes a check. We welcome your checks, don't get confused. But it's more important that we have some involvement outside of here. So for our club, for next year, we'd like to have a bigger presence at our district conference. So if you're somebody who has never been in a district conference, you should think about it. If you're in leadership here in our club, you should especially think about it. But more than that, if you're a new person who's joined in the last year or two, you've never been to a district conference, we would love to take you. You could come next year and be my guest, or Harrison's or Richard's. So it's district conference is not just for leadership. It's not just for club presidents. It's for everybody that wants to understand more about what we do. So if that's something you're into, get a hold of me. We'll start a list for next year. We'll get ready for the upcoming year. But excellent conference. We had a great time up there. If you want to have a great time with us next year, it's going to be in Asheville. Let me know. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Wonderful. All right, next we got Kevin up with a quick service update. Kevin.
I like the way you guys blank out my eyes. That's great. This past weekend on Saturday, 4 Rotarians, and I want to highlight, well, Frank and James were there, but Cassie or Cassandra, where are you at? Raise your hand. There she is back there. One of our newer members. I got to give her credit. She reached out on social media and got 5 young ladies to show up and help us out. This is miraculous, and Paul and everybody that's in that field, can attest to that the power of social media. And I understand that you've already got 5 more for us for our stream cleanup. So it was a great activity. We had 8 oak trees to plant on Saturday morning. We had to hand dig the holes, unlike other plantings where they use the power auger. But we had plenty of help, and we were done in an hour and a half. So I encourage you guys to come out. This is what we're going to do, plant trees throughout the next year. And this was our first opportunity. Next weekend, or this weekend, excuse me, Saturday, the Crabtree Rotary Club is trying to recruit all Rotarians throughout the district to help them with a cleanup. And you can see from this map, there is plenty of opportunities to clean up Crabtree Creek Greenway Trail. So please look for the sign up if you're interested in helping another service opportunity on Saturday morning. And then fast forward to May 2nd, we adopted a stream years ago. It's in Lions Park. We will continue to clean that up. The good news is the first year, it was a very tough task. But as we've cleaned it every year, it isn't accumulating as much trash as quick as it did 20 years worth. So you can imagine it becomes easier and easier every year we do this. But it's still it's a great project. We'll probably spend a couple hours out there in the morning. Great fellowship, and we'll be done. And you'll get your feet wet, but if you want to get in the water, wear some boots. That's all I recommend. And your bug spray. Excellent. Good choice. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And with temperatures in April already being in the 90s, I'm assuming May, you might need some sunscreen as well. Mosquitoes love Jennifer. That's great. Thank you so much for those reports, Kevin. Moving on. Oh, and we have a Wake Up and Read book drive. Just some things to highlight that we need to collect in the following. Simple picture books, as we have always talked about, the great illustration, few words, bilingual books, graphic novels, and current biographies of relatable figures. This is something that if you've got any additional books. This is in May as well, yeah. More to come on this one in the weeks to come. All right, now we've got a membership update. Diamante, come on up, brother. I warmed them up a little bit for you, but I'm not Diamante, so.
All righty. It's good to be back, everybody. How we doing today? Look, you guys, I missed last week. They pulled my tooth, but they didn't stop my mouth from talking. So how are we doing again? One more time. All righty. There we go. There we go. There we go. Guys, I ain't gonna lie. My tooth was hurting me and I couldn't make it. But I'm glad to be back. With that being said, though, we have a first reading today. So can I get Angie to come on up real quick and Kevin Summers? Yeah, we got Michigan in the building. Okay, I see y'all. Yes, yes. So, just to let you guys know, Angie was born and raised in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And Angie has her Bachelor's of Arts degree in hospitality business from Michigan State University. How are y'all gonna deal with that though? I know. Hey, all things are possible. Okay. And she received her Master's of Arts in Geography from the University of New Orleans. Angie had some long winters in Michigan and decided to move her career to where it was somewhere warmer in New Orleans. While New Orleans, she had spent 20 years at that city with an appreciation for good food and people. While there, she did find her purpose in helping people and solving problems and real foundations of any successful business. She moved into business development where she spent 15 years leading sales and managing multi-million-dollar pipelines. But Angie decided to move to North Carolina. Well, when she did, now Angie works for Imagine AI as a client strategy director. With this company, she helps businesses use AI, SEO, and content strategy by building systems that helps brands turn, as she says, a tangled digital mess into something clear and efficient, which I think will help us tremendously with the Rotary Club to get us out there even more. So I'm excited. Angie loves traveling. She could play the piano as well too, you all. She could play. And loves anything with glitter. So she loves to have a good time. The few conversations I've had with Angie, it's a lovely spirit, and I'm excited to have her a part of the club. And again, we got Michigan in the building, so let's keep bringing some more Michigan people here. So, but with that, you all just give her a round of applause real quick. Give Angie a round of applause. Thank you. You can have a seat. Thank you, thank you. And also to you guys, just to let you know, any new member, if you guys have not been to a new member orientation, we will be here April 30th. We will actually be up there having our membership orientation at 5 p.m. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Like I said, any new member, if you just still want to come out and show some love and show some support, come on out and show the new members. You guys have a great one.
Thank you so much. At some point, we'll say if you're interested in Rotary service, or if you're from Michigan, the Rotary Club of Raleigh is for you. That was supposed to be a funny joke, but that's all right. All right, now we have our own John Cates to provide us a quick update on fundraising and the upcoming Governor's Mansion.
Hey, it's good to see everybody today. I hope that you've marked your calendar and you've gotten your invitation and that you've RSVP'd. The RSVP is due today. I see some people here that haven't RSVP'd. We're hoping that you will. We currently have about 100 people that have registered to come to the event. The event will be from noon to 1:30. We'll have a luncheon from about 12:15 to 1 o'clock. And then we'll have a dedication ceremony for the America 250 oak tree that we planted. I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. You've sung the song, "This land is your land, this land is my land." Well, when we are at the Governor's Mansion on Monday, this house is your house, and this house is my house. And this tree we're planting is your tree, and it's my tree. It's our club's gift to the state of North Carolina. Regretfully, I will say that Josh Stein, Governor Stein, and the First Lady, Anna Stein, have other commitments and can't be there. But I'm very excited to say that Secretary Pamela Cashwell, the Secretary of the Department of Administration who runs the Governor's Mansion, who also is in charge of America 250 for the state of North Carolina, will be our speaker. She's the first Native American woman to hold a position of secretary of a department in North Carolina. We're very excited to have her. She's going to do a fabulous job. We've got a couple other speakers. We also have a guest singer, and the luncheon is being catered by Ladyfingers. So make sure you RSVP. I will eventually have the list. The list has to be given to the governor's staff, and they will have a gate set up where you will go through security to make sure that you are a good Rotarian. So be a good Rotarian between now and next Monday. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And thank you very much. I'm so excited to see you guys next week.
Thank you so much, John. Appreciate that update. Yeah, I'm very excited about next week. That's going to be a fun. Hopefully the weather's nice. In the drought that we're having, it'll be the day that it rains. No, we're wonderful. So wanted to provide a quick, Tom Packer is not here, but wanted to provide a quick update to the club about our Wilson Heyman Vocational Service Leadership Award. For those that might be new to our club, we have typically every year had someone nominated and awarded the Vocational Service Leadership Award, which is highlighting someone in our community that's not a part of Rotary, but exemplifies the characteristics of a Rotarian and a service above self and things like that. We've had a wonderful list of recipients in the past. And this year, once again, led by Mark Hackett and our committee, we had another wonderful list of individuals to consider for the Wilson Heyman Award, which, for those who don't know who Wilson Heyman is, he was a past president of our club. He was a beloved and dear member. He was one of the first people that sat with me at lunch when I came to a Rotary meeting. Just a wonderful man, exemplified Rotary. And he passed away a few years ago, and so we decided to name this Vocational Service Leadership Award after Wilson. So this year, after a lot of deliberation and once again consideration, we have been able to select someone that I think is could be very familiar with a lot of people in this community. A native Raleighite? What would you call someone from Raleigh? A Raleighite? He's a native Raleighite, and his fingerprint literally is on this community in so many different ways. We are honored to nominate and to have Smedes York as the recipient for this year's Vocational Service Leadership Award. He is currently the chairman of York Properties, but he took over at York Properties after his father that's been a part of this community for years. He was a two-time mayor of Raleigh, and that is I just listed here some of the things that he is currently a part of, but his resume speaks for itself. And if you know Smedes, you know he has a heart for this community. He's got a heart for the organizations that are making impact in this. And no one lives service above self better than Smedes. So very excited to have him as our winner this year. And then you'll see in a couple of weeks, we're actually having our presentation, which will have Smedes here. So yes, just wanted to make sure the club knew that Smedes was our recipient for this year's award. All right, birthdays and anniversary. There are no birthdays right now, so that's surprising. In my household, there is 5 birthdays in April. But anniversaries, we have Randy and Donna Mounts on the 20th. Happy anniversary. How many years, sir? Lucky 7. There we go. Happy anniversary to you guys. And then Duncan and Ashley Jennings on the 24th, 22 years for them. So happy anniversary to you all. And then upcoming meetings, as we've already mentioned, the 27th, which is next week, we've got the Governor Mansion event. So please make sure if you haven't turned in your RSVP, please do so. And it's a great opportunity for you to bring someone who doesn't know about Rotary. It's a great first introduction. After that, we have our America 250 presentation with Chelsea Kiefer. And then on the 11th, we have Chuck Leedy providing, our very own Chuck Leedy, providing a wonderful talk on the fluctuation in oil prices, which is continuing to fluctuate every single day. And then after that, on the 18th, we have Smedes York. We're going to be doing our VSLA presentation with him. All right, moving on to raffle. John Cates, back to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Harrison. Thank you guys for everyone that participated in today's raffle. The raffle, big raffle today, the Joe Ace of Clubs is $371. So we'll see what happens. Would you mind, Sarah? Do you want to buy a ticket?
No. I'm gonna pick the winner. Are y'all ready? 1, 4, 4. 4, 2, 1.
421.
Oh.
Bob Hunter. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Bob Hunter. Congratulations. Now, you know how this works, right? Because it was kind of your idea that we start doing this. Yep, looks right to me. So you've won this money for today for doing the raffle. Yep. So that's yours, whether anything else happens or not. Now, we have a deck of cards. You pick a card. If it's a joker, you get 100. If it's the ace of clubs, you get $371. It's a joker.
Got a joker.
Congratulations. You'll get another $100.
Okay, when do I get $100?
We'll see me out back.
Oh, I gotta go to a meeting, so yeah.
We'll make sure you get it, Bob. Wonderful. Congratulations, sir. The joker. I think it was around this time, like we had gone through, I think, 3 or 4 iterations of this, and then Mike pulled the ace of clubs. And so, I mean, it must be something around the 3rd or 4th that you actually win something. All right. Now moving on to our happy dollars. As always, we have our red buckets for the Dimension Alliance. If you have any spare change, please provide that into the bucket. Or if you don't have any spare change, but you want to donate, we've got some Monopoly money on the tables. You can just write your name, how much you'd like to, and Linda can invoice it to you. But all that being said, I'm going to come around the room for some happy dollars. Do we have any happy dollars? Eric.
This is not why I got up, but I just wanted to point out that Smedes York was a star NC State basketball player too. The reason I wanted to say something was Reagan Weaver is here with us today. Reagan and I actually met when our sons were in Taekwondo, and those 2 little boys who were white belts back then now are senior software engineer and a financial investment banker working in great successful careers. But I wanted to say 2 things about Reagan. One is I used to tease him. He has a there it goes. It came back. He has a striking resemblance to Franklin Roosevelt, and I've always teased him about that. And that's kind of appropriate because one of his great passions, he and Ardith are real supporters of the polio initiatives that Rotary's had over the years. So thank you for that. And then the final thing, Reagan was president when I was on the board. I was on the board when Reagan was president, and he's famous for his long board meetings. And I used to get a little bit irritated about those endless meetings. And then I realized something recently. He wanted to make sure every voice was heard. And that's a lot what Reagan is about. He wants every voice to be heard. So a friend, I think this is going to be your last or next to last meeting. But so thank you so much for everything you've done personally and for Rotary.
Pete, I see you have dollars in your hand.
Cart bucket.
Oh, it's cart bucket.
Nothing happy.
No, it's okay. It's all right. No worries. Do we have any other happy dollars for today?
I got $5 for a fun weekend trip with my wife. We went to DC to visit her college roommate's friend, or her college roommate and her husband, and got a tour of the West Wing, which was pretty cool. So $5 for the.
That's fantastic. Wonderful. That's awesome. Any others? Oh, Mike.
Sorry, I missed you guys last week. Basically, me and my wife took the day off for us to celebrate her 40th birthday. So happy birthday to my wife.
Happy birthday to her. Any others? All right, Reagan, did you want to come up?
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
This would have been my 40th year that I would complete in November. So I've been with this club for quite a while, and you heard my story about squirrels and how I got into the club. If you haven't heard the story, it's too long to tell right now. We've got an important speaker here. But at any rate, I just wanted to say a brief parting word, because this gave me one of the best opportunities of my life. If I talk faster, sometimes I can control my emotions better. I will try to do exactly that. There are a couple of things that I wanted to mention real quickly. One is Rotary Leadership Institute. It's a wonderful part of Rotary, and if you have not participated in taking the courses to become a Rotary leadership candidate, you really are missing out on something. So don't forget that. Also, the Rotary Foundation is the crux of what Rotary is all about. That's what makes Rotary work. It's money. And the Rotary Foundation is one of the best resources for charitable giving that exists in the world. So don't forget that either. The one thing that I wanted to do quickly, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the objects of Rotary. And I suspect it doesn't get attention like it needs. Thanks. Oh, okay. But I'd like to read them very quickly. The objects of Rotary are to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular, to encourage and foster, one, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. I think a lot of folks here know fellowship is the heart of number one. Number two, high ethical standards in business and professions. The recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying by each Rotarian of his occupation as an opportunity to serve. The application of the ideal of service by every Rotarian to his personal, business, and community life. And then last, what probably caused me to join Rotary to begin with more than anything else, and that was the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace throughout the world. Rotary stands for that. Rotary has over 30,000 members across 30,000 clubs across the world with over 1 million members. You're part of a wonderful organization. And I'm sure I didn't need to say that, but I wanted you to hear what the objects of Rotary are, because I don't feel like they get as much attention sometimes as they could. So what I've done is this copy I got in my year as president, centennial year, and we've framed this copy, and I'm going to make a small change to what I had planned. I'm going to give this to the current president to pass on to each president, and it can hang in the office of whoever is president each year.
Phenomenal.
So great.
Reagan, thank you, sir. Yes, please. Reagan, thank you so much for your service to this club, for the countless years, and your fingerprint on its legacy. We are a strong club for the work that you've done that is laid out upon me as a president and Tommy and Richard after him. So thank you so much for your dedication to the Rotary Club. One more round of applause for Reagan. That's fantastic. All right, well, moving on into our featured presentation. We have the honor of having Sarah Crawford, who is the CEO of the Tammy Lynn Center, here with us today. She serves and she leads the organization serving children and adults with disabilities and their families. Prior to that, she served as the national director at Single Stop, helping families work together, work towards the American dream by connecting them to existing resources. Additionally, Sarah serves in the North Carolina House of Representatives. Prior to serving in the NC House, Sarah served in the North Carolina Senate representing parts of Wake and Franklin counties. She has been a champion for healthcare access and affordability. She is a graduate of North Carolina State University, go Pack, where she earned a degree in political science. Sarah has been a member of the ministry leadership team at her church and lives with her husband and 2 daughters here in Raleigh. Sarah, thank you so much for being here today. Oh, and sorry, you had some recommend remarks? Please come on up. Please, please. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I was going to say that we are so fortunate to have so many outstanding organizations in our community that are doing amazing work in such a caring and compassionate manner, and just so delighted to have Sarah Crawford here with us, who also balances her work at the Tammy Lynn Center with being active in the legislature. Thank you so much for all you do in those endeavors, and just so delighted also to welcome Brittany Constance, who does outstanding work. So just very looking forward to what you have to say to us today. Sarah, thank you both so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad they feed you lunch before I speak, because I've been between you all. It's good to see so many good faces in here. You know, a lot of times they put the speaker before the lunch comes, and then I'm standing between you and lunch. And so I'm glad all of you have already had lunch. Also, I'm also from Michigan originally, so go Michiganders. And I had family that lived up in the Upper Peninsula, so I spent a lot of time up there as a kid. Well, I'm really pleased here today to be here today to talk about one of my huge passions, and that is our work at Tammy Lynn Center for Developmental Disabilities. I want to recognize a few people in the room. There are a lot of faces that have been involved with TLC over the years that I recognize across the room. One in particular, Dan Daniel, who was a board member, served as the director of development, and then served as the interim CEO and held that seat nice and warm until I could get myself back to TLC. So appreciate you being here, Dan. And of course, Brittany Constance, who you all heard from earlier, she is the Director of Strategic Impact and Outreach and does a great job for TLC. We were founded in 1969 by 3 families. These 3 families had children with special needs. It was the Moore family, the Pierce family, and the Tucker family. And the Pierce's little girl, her name was Tammy Lynn, which is how we got our name. But I want to tell you about Jimmy. Jimmy Moore was born to Betty and Durham Moore. And if you've been around Raleigh, did anybody know Betty and Durham? No? Oh, nobody in here. Well, I'm excited to share with you a little bit about them. They were just huge, very involved in the community here in Wake County, especially in Raleigh. And Betty and Durham's son, Jimmy, was born in 1956. And he was born with significant needs. And when he was born, Betty asked the doctor, what can be done for our child? What kind of services and supports are available for our son, Jimmy? And the doctor said, your best option is to take him to an institution and go on about your life. And, you know, I don't know about you all. I have 2 daughters, as you've heard. But what a thing for a mother who's just given birth to a wonderful baby boy to be told there are no services here in Wake County. So they kept Jimmy at home until he was about 8 years old. And he just got to the point where he could, they really couldn't care for him in the home anymore. His needs were becoming too great. And they ended up taking him to a place called O'Berry Center. And O'Berry Center was the institution that served children kind of Wake County East who had significant disabilities and needed a wheelchair and around-the-clock care. And they took Jimmy there, and he lived there for about 18 months, and the conditions were not good. There were no therapeutic services. There was nobody to take the children outside on a sunny day. There was no education for children with special needs. And Betty asked the director of the center, the director of O'Berry Center, what can be done to make sure that our children don't lose the loss of their legs, to be sure that our children can learn, to be sure that our children can see their family. And the director said, I can offer you nothing more than custodial care. Your best option is to go back to Raleigh and advocate for services. And that's exactly what Betty Moore did in Durham. But I like to tell the story about the mothers in this. But Durham and Betty came back to Raleigh. They picked Jimmy up, wrapped him in a blanket, brought him back here, and they went to work. And they began advocating for services right here in Wake County. And Betty wrote in her journal, and her daughter, Terry Moore, has kept the journal and brought it to us. And Betty wrote in her journal that these children have the same rights that all of us do. The right to get outside on a sunny day, the right to learn, the right to love, the right to have their favorite foods from home that their parents might cook. And that's what she wanted here in Wake County. And that's exactly what she did with these other two families. We started in the back of a church, Green Forest Baptist Church in Cary, as a Mother's Morning Out program in 1969. And we have grown now. We have a 9-acre campus, among other things that we do, which I'll talk about briefly. But we now serve over 2,000 families every single year, mostly right here in the Triangle. So what started as 3 families is now serving 2,000 families every single year. So I'll tell you a little bit about our services. And you're seeing some of these amazing faces up on the screen behind me and over here, some amazing faces of the people that work at TLC and who are served at TLC. But we serve children and adults with special needs, and we're probably best known for our residential services. How many are familiar with TLC already or have been out there? Okay, so a few. Yeah, Dan, you better raise your hand. When I got here, I told Dan, I was like, well, you're going to give this talk, I think. We're probably best known for our residential services. And our residential services, we have 45 total residents, 30 that live on our campus with us in what is called an intermediate care facility. And these are 10-bed community-based homes that where children and adults live. And these are individuals who have pretty significant need. Most of the individuals that live with us on campus are in wheelchairs. They might have feeding tubes. They need around-the-clock nursing support. But one of the things that we hear from families all the time, especially about our residential services, is that we allow them to be mom and dad. Because when you have a child with special needs, you become the doctor and the therapist and the caregiver and the person who has to call and track down services and the transportation. I mean, you become all of these things. And I used to think about, when my kids were little, they're 17 and 15 now, but when my kids were little, the thing that I thought about all the time was, oh my gosh, I have to leave work early and get to the grocery store before I have to pick them up, because carrying them to the grocery store was a lot of work. They don't have wheelchairs. They don't have sensory stimulation challenges that make being in a grocery store hard. So we give these families their life back, where they can focus on just being mom and dad and loving their child. So we have 30 residents that call TLC home, and we are located over near Centennial Campus off of Avent Ferry. And we also operate 4 group homes in the community. And our group homes are for individuals who are able to live a little bit more independently. We have 3 4-bed homes in Cary and 1 3-bed home in Raleigh. And these individuals, in one of our homes, we have 2 individuals that go volunteer every day, and they go to the mall and they do all kinds of stuff. And then in our other homes, we offer a day program where individuals can come who have disabilities, who have aged out of school. Maybe they're not able to go to work, but they get meaningful day. They get meaningful day and their families get meaningful respite so that those individuals can learn skill building, that we have a partnership with Voices Together, which comes and does music therapy for our residents and for our day program clients. And so just really, really meaningful activity. In addition to all these services, we also provide therapeutic supports. We provide early education. We do individual and family services where we provide support to the entire family. We also, one of the most important things that I think we do, I think it's all important, but we provide diagnostic testing. So when you are a parent of a child with disabilities, you cannot get access to services until you've had that diagnosis. And that diagnosis can only be done by a psychologist. It can't be done by the doctor. It has to be done by a psychologist. So we provide diagnostic assessments. And in the state of North Carolina, people are waiting 18 months, sometimes longer, for these diagnostic assessments. And these are families who are really, really desperate for services and really desperate to get their kiddo into therapy and get them in an individualized education plan if they need one in school. But we do it, what's our wait list? 4 to 6 months. And so we are serving families all across the state who are just calling, tracking us down, because I get my kiddo in. And that in itself changes the lives of these families, because now all of a sudden they have a world of services that are available to them. We also have a care navigation program, tailored care management, where we provide services to individuals who are on Medicaid. People on Medicaid have different barriers to get access to services, so transportation, healthy living, and we provide care navigation to make sure that individuals on Medicaid are getting to their doctor's appointments, are getting to their services. We've knocked down all of those barriers. We're serving about 1,000 families in that program on an annual basis. So we're doing a lot. There are some things I didn't even get to mention. I'm cognizant of time, but we can't do any of this work without standing. I mean, we stand on the shoulders of all of the people who make sure that we can continue to do what we do. We have to raise about $1 million every single year in order to ensure that our services continue. So we get Medicaid reimbursement, we get some other things, but the gap between what Medicaid pays for and what it costs to provide these services is around $1 million. And that's what Brittany and her team focus on. We have a number of ways that we do that. We write grants, we get support from corporations, we get support from individuals, we do events, because this mission is absolutely critical. We talk a lot about how we change lives, but we have had families tell us that we have literally saved their lives. We've saved their lives because we give them the ability to be a family. We had a CEO a couple back who used to say, we will never love your child like you will, but we will love them in shifts, and we will make sure that they have everything that they need. And that's exactly what we do. And there are families that have moved here from all over the country to get services here at TLC. We have families that call us from New York and Wyoming and all over, because they find out about what we're doing here in Raleigh, and they want their child to come live at Tammy Lynn Center. So I'm gonna pause there. There's so much more that I would love to tell you. The best way to learn about our services, we do have a video, but videos can't play in this room, I think. So, but I encourage you to please go online. Our videos are posted there. But we would love to host you for a tour, even if you haven't. If you've been out before, but it's been a while. We have built a brand new residential facility. We are renovating our existing buildings, and we are almost done with those renovations. We have raised almost $9.8 million to do those renovations, which is huge. We have a little bit more to go. So, if you're looking for a place to park some dollars, but we are very, very close to getting those renovations done. But we would love to host you. We would love to introduce you to our amazing staff. We have about 170 staff that work 24 hours a day to make sure that we can provide these services. And we would love to introduce you to some of the wonderful lives that we serve as well. But I'm going to stop there and see if anybody has any questions. Yes, Chuck. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And is it in the annual report how for every dollar that we raise, more than 90 cents of every dollar that we raise goes back into programs and services? Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Chuck.
I'll just add that Kara mentioned that we have tours. You're always welcome to reach out to schedule a one-off tour, but we do them on a monthly basis. So our next tour is Friday, May 1st, and then the next one in June will be that second Friday, so June the 12th. Anybody is welcome to come. Just email, reach out to us, and I think there should be information there, but if not, just stop me after. And we'd love to have you. It's, again, open to whomever would like to come and learn a little bit more about TLC and to meet our folks and see where we are. So we would love to have you guys out.
We also host volunteer groups. I mentioned we have 9 acres of campus that need mulching and mowing and raking and bush cutting and all kinds of things. And we have painting projects. We just had a group in over the weekend of students that came and painted one of our buildings. And so we love to host groups, corporate groups, church groups, whatever group you have, we love to host groups for volunteering. Yes. Yeah. There is huge need. So the state of North Carolina actually has what they call the Registry of Unmet Needs. It's also known as the Innovations Waiver Waitlist. And these are individuals who are waiting for services, waiting for a slot, like the services that we provide at TLC. There are more than 20,000 families on the official waiting list that the state of North Carolina keeps. So the need is huge and it's growing. 350 people move to North Carolina every single day. 60 of those are right here in Wake County. So we know that that need is only going to continue to grow. And those 20,000 families are actually, those are the families we know about. There are countless other families that have gotten off the wait list, said kind of, I quit, I'm gonna go figure it out on my own, and families that don't even know that the wait list exists. So we have a lot of work to do in North Carolina. Yes, Dan. Yeah. Thank you. I love questions like that. That give me an opportunity to talk about something amazing. We have folks that started living with us when they were 5 and 6 years old, and they are now in their 40s and 50s. There's one little girl, Haley, and when Haley was born, the diagnosis that the doctor gave to her parents was incompatible with life. Incompatible with life. They told Haley's mom, Jan, they told Jan that Haley would not make it past her 5th birthday. Haley is now in her 30s, and she lives with us and has lived with us for a long time. She started with us going to school and then eventually moved in. And, I think, think about your own health, right? Like you think about, maybe there's somebody in your family who's had to go to hospice, and the hospice says, oh, they're not going to live, 6 more months, and then they come home and they live 2 more years. And that's because of the love that's provided in that home. And I think the same is true for the people that call TLC home. There is so much love. I want to tell this story. Do you have time to tell a story? I have 5 more minutes. I worked at TLC from 2011 to 2015, and then I took a 5-year break, realized the error of my ways, and had the opportunity to come back in 2020. And it was a really interesting time to come back into a long-term care field. The end of 2020, we were still sick in COVID. The vaccine was out, but nobody could get it. And our campus had been very siloed during this time. People were not moving in between buildings, and that causes morale to go down. And so I really wanted to get my finger on the pulse of how folks were feeling around campus, our staff in particular. And so I went out and I did these listening sessions, and I went to every shift. I showed up on 3rd shift in my pajamas, and I talked to staff across campus in every department. And I got their open-ended opinions, what was working, what was not working, what did they need help with. And I asked everybody that I talked to, why do you come here to work? We can only pay our staff what we get reimbursed by Medicaid and what we're able to raise. So I know they don't get paid enough. Their jobs are hard. They're emotionally taxing. They are physically taxing. And during COVID, none of our staff that are doing direct care could work from home. They all had to show up. So I said, why do you come here? I know it's hard. I know we can't pay you what you deserve. And they said, every single person said, because I love the people that we take care of. And I know that somebody has to show up for them. So I said, okay, then my job is to show up for you. And our leadership team takes it very seriously to make sure that we show up for our staff every day, because we don't have to worry about the staff caring for the client. And that's what we're able to do. That is why people are able to live much longer than whatever was expected, because of the pure love that radiates in each of our buildings. Thank you for that question. Anything else? All right, well, I hope you will come visit us. You heard those dates from Brittany. If you forget those dates, just reach out to us. We'd love to host you. And if those dates don't work for you, we will host you whenever you are able to come. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Before you sit down, first of all, thank you for all the hard work that you and your team do to provide dignity to these individuals, as well as, I love what you said, you let the parents be parents, which is huge. We have the 4-way test on the back of here. It says our speaker mug, as well as a shirt for our tree campaign. So thank you so much for all you do and your staff. Thank you for being here as well. All right, well, that, Rotarians, remember, next week, we're not going to be here. We're at the governor's mansion. And I'm going to do a little of the article. Reagan, will you please lead us out on the 4-way test, please? Either there or wherever you want to go. Build goodwill, better friendships. Will be beneficial. We are dismissed. We